Welcome to SveNFL.
What's up, y'all?
It's Jonathan Rollins.
Schif Misara.
And we're two Americans living in Sweden talking about
playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
Yeah, we are. We're talking about the playoffs. The you kidding me part is because we're not talking about our teams in the playoffs. Because they are doing what we're doing. Podcasting at most.
Yeah. That's true, actually.
If they're lucky, they're podcasting. No, but our team season's over. You adopted the Lions?
I never really officially decided, but yeah, sure. Yeah.
I think I should adopt an AFC team. Since you're an NFC fan, I feel like, or maybe it's better as an NFC fan that you adopt an AFC team so there's no...
You just don't want to have to adopt the Bills. I know what you're doing here. Fucking lie to me.
No, I wouldn't adopt the Bills anyway. The team I would adopt in the AFC if I were adopting one. But I think it's only fair if so that we don't fuck any allegiances up in the future. We do the other conference. However, if I were forced to pick an AFC team to root for in the playoffs, my AFC team would be the Chargers.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I would root for the Chargers all the way to the end. I've always liked Jim Harbaugh. Remember, before I was a Dolphins fan, who was my team? The Bears.
That's true.
Chicago. So I used to root for Jim Harbaugh because I caught the tail end of Walter Payton, and that's when he popped in.
I mean, I hear you. I fuck with the Chargers a little bit this year. They're a fun team.
Yeah.
They got my man, former Bulldog Lad McConkey, which is fun.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick an AFC team, I'm pretty sure it would be the Ravens.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. As I looked at it now, like, if I want him to go far, Ravens, of course. Lamar from the hood, he from my city, so yeah.
Although I love this idea of the Bills, Lions going to if that was the Super Bowl, I think that would be kind of a fun thing. But I really like Lamar Jackson, and I think I would love for him. I feel like he really deserves a Super Bowl. He's a great player.
It sounds like an adoption right here.
And they also have my man, former Bulldog Todd Monken, calling the plays too. Yes. So that's like, dude's got championship DNA. I'm here for that as well.
Good point. Well, I guess that's your team then. Your Ravens are your adopted team.
Yeah, I like them. They're fun.
I guess I could root for former Dolphins tight end coach, Dan Campbell. with the Lions. The NFC team I would pick actually is my man, former Dolphins head coach, Brian Flores, and the Vikings.
Good
I've liked
point.
the Vikings a lot. When I was a kid, my dad always said the black and blue division was great. That's back when Tampa was in the NFC Central or whatever, and they had the Lions and the Bears and the Vikings. It was like known as these tough run first teams and all of that stuff. So I always had a little place in my heart for that division.
I think it's funny how, since that Monday night ass whooping that the Vikings experienced, that the media has completely turned on Sam Darnold all of a sudden. And it's like, I can't tell you how many articles I've seen of like, indicating like, oh, what if Sam Darnold has started seeing ghosts again? I'm just like, motherfuckers.
Man.
These bitches are just we do not care to talk about.
Dude, they're running out of shit. It's gonna suck that you know how it is, that Pro Bowl week when everybody just coming up with storylines. It's ridiculous.
Oh, it's so dumb.
They've created an environment where they have given themselves permission to just dig all the way in and be extra. It's like you made this yourself, and now you're just like, oh, we have to do it.
What?
You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it.
Exactly.
You can just shut the fuck up. Don't write the article.
Yeah, exactly. Don't say it.
Don't say it. Yeah, don't say that thing you feel like you gotta say. Yeah, it's crazy. We got some news though, right?
There were some articles that needed to be written this week because a lot of definitive shit happened. We had, Black Monday, as they call it.
Yes.
So we already had some coaches that we knew were how many? We lost 3 in season this year.
Wasn't we lost the Saints?
Eberflus.
The Bears.
Eberflus.
Yeah.
What's his name from the Saints?
Shit. Dennis
Allen.
Yeah.
Who else did we lose? Did we lose somebody else in season? Or no? Am I crazy?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I don't remember. I should actually meant to apologize to all of our listeners beforehand. I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning.
Damn. What the
because
hell?
I love my wife. You know how much I love my wife.
I know.
Right?
Jets.
Yeah, Jets. You're right.
Robert
I
Saleh.
knew there was another one. Yeah. Everybody knows how much I love my wife. However, this morning my wife had to go to work. She woke up before her alarm clock went off. She went to the bathroom, and then her alarm clock went off.
Oh, so you're just sitting there. She's in the shower.
And then it goes. He starts doing this thing, and I'm just like, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how to. She has like an actual alarm clock, not just her phone. And so I don't know how to fucking turn it off. I'm disoriented. I open the door and I throw it out the door and just like I slide it across the floor into the kitchen. And then I couldn't go back to sleep because my brain woke up and just started going bananas. And so I've been up essentially working since 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm a little delirious today, but I'm going to push through and try to make as much sense as possible. So let's get started. The first, right. Saints, Bears, and Jets all fired their coaches in season. So our first big Monday beheading was Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson.
Was he the first one? Okay.
No, he was the first one.
No, there was somebody before that who was like done before they fucking got to the locker room type shit. Who was that?
I think it was him.
Gerard Mayo.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about Mayo. You're absolutely
You mentioned
correct.
him last episode, though. Yeah.
He got fired before Monday. You're correct. Yeah. Absolutely. So we woke up on Monday. We found out that Doug Peterson had been fired from the Jaguars. For some reason, they did not fire their GM, Trent Baalke, which everyone
their
is
fans
like...
are pissed. Yeah, their fans are
their fans are really pissed. This guy has had a terrible draft history. He
brought in fucking Urban Meyer.
Yeah, and he strikes me. This guy's got some very strange history. Like this guy beat Harbaugh in a power struggle when they were at the 49ers. Like somehow he did this. He did that there too. Like when Harbaugh got fired from the 49ers and he stayed on as a GM. And this is when Harbaugh went to go coach for Michigan. This guy, he strikes me as like some kind of an undertaker of sorts. Like he must know where all the bodies are buried. Like you just can't fire this fucking guy.
Yeah.
That being said, the owner, there was a Zoom interview with a Jaguars beat reporter where he interviewed the owner Shad Khan and Trent Baalke was in on the interview as well, and they asked him about the new head coach coming in, if he has some kind of issue with the GM, and he said, "Well, we would have to take that into consideration." So he basically said that if the new coach that they really want comes in and says, "You got to fire this Trent Baalke asshole," then he would consider it.
Okay.
So that's
Baalke
kind of
there. Baalke heard him say it.
Oh yeah, Baalke's sitting right there on the screen.
Oh shit. So he's gonna probably go after unproven head coaches.
It's a very interesting scenario that most people feel like the fact that they decided to retain Trent Baalke greatly will limit the Jaguars' ability to attract a top head coach. And so most people are just like, a lot of people around the league. I mean, it was like, people putting their name on the quote, some people quoting them, being quoted anonymously, just like, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. Like essentially Ben Johnson is like, forget about it. you can just scratch him off the list. There's no way Ben Johnson is
Yeah.
going to go into this situation with a GM like that. Period.
Are they going to have Coach Anarumo?
Maybe it's
'Cause
possible.
he got fired.
Yeah, we're going to get to that too.
Yeah.
The other one that got axed as far as the head coach is concerned is Raiders coach Antonio Pierce.
Oh, he's fired.
Yeah, this one was weird because they allowed him to do his Monday morning presser where he came out and claimed that all of the noise about his job was coming from outside the building because inside the building he assumed he was still going to be coaching the Raiders going forward. Then Tuesday came and Antonio Pierce discovered that he had assumed incorrectly that they had changed their minds, which is kind of for me is an indication that the Raiders are a really sloppy organization.
You know why they did that? They can't do. They're either gonna have to change the name from Black Monday because the Patriots knew it too. We can't fire this black man on Black Monday. We got to fire
that's
him
an interesting point.
We got to fire him on Sunday because there's a possibility that some asshole newspaper's headline is gonna be "Black coach fired on Black Monday" type of thing. Or Antonio Pierce experiences the blackest of Black Monday. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. You don't want that.
So that's why they fired Mayo on Sunday and Pierce on Tuesday.
Yeah, man. Doug Peterson, Black Monday is all yours, buddy. That's why I'm here, man. I'm the America's Black correspondent.
Interesting. I like that take. Yeah. So. Obviously, they need a coach. We already talked about Gerard Mayo being fired, but what we didn't talk about was what happened the day after Robert Kraft came out and took full accountability.
Yeah,
for handpicking the wrong guy, while also throwing him under the bus by calling him the wrong guy and saying that he wasn't ready to be a head coach.
But that's the thing. He kind of said that when he hired him. He kind of said that when he brought him out, like it's gonna take time. You know what I mean? We're gonna like go through this process together. Was the way he was talking about it. But I think he wanted an insider. I was saying this to Sean. I was talking to our friend Sean about this. That he wanted an insider that he groomed almost. That he could feel like they're like really family oriented. So having somebody who used to play for them and who you feel like you got ready was kind of his dream in the twilight of his ownership to have this thing that he's always wanted. So you get Belichick out of there. You got this guy you groomed up that's a team Hall of Famer, got some Super Bowls with you, Gerard Mayo. But then there's this other guy that's looming out there that's unemployed, that took a year off, that's on your ring of fame.
Yeah.
And your stadium that won 3 Super Bowls with you, and that's Mike Vrabel. So that one is probably going to stick. It's ready.
For sure. I'm just not really impressed with his willingness to take full accountability while also failing to acknowledge that he never really gave Gerard Mayo a chance.
It sounds like he's saying that, though. He's saying I fucked up. I didn't give him a shot, but he's not saying the quiet part. He can't say, I want to get my guy in that's kind of like Gerard Mayo with experience. He can't say that because of the Rooney Rule. He has to interview a black dude. So it's like then that goes away. Then you lose. Like then you go into that whole Brian Flores lawsuit type of shit where you wasting people's time on their interviews if you say the truth, which is that Mike Vrabel is going to be my coach next year. So he's going to have to go ahead and I'm going to guess Carolina Panthers defensive coordinator, Ejiro Evero, or whatever his name is going to come in for an interview. They're going to say no, and then they'll take Mike Vrabel. That's my prediction. That's my bold prediction.
Yeah. Well, he apparently is the Panthers have announced that Evero is going to keep his job as defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to do all of these. I agree with you. They're going to bring in a bunch of bullshit interviews. They're going to hit
the first
Rooney
names too. When you go through this, you're going to see the Rooney Rule type-ish names. I mean, they're top coordinators and stuff, but these teams are getting it out the way, man. Let's go ahead and interview our black guy, see what he's talking about, and hopefully they're doing it open-mindedly.
Sure.
We'll see.
Yeah. I'm sure their minds are wide open.
I mean, you never know, man. Some people are talking about Brian Flores, who everybody thought was the black sheep, pun intended, of the NFL. Like, was never going to, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does never coach again. But he's out there, man. Motherfucker was suing teams, and these owners are tight.
True. Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy has not been fired.
Shocking.
However, he has received an interview request from the Chicago Bears.
I got a theory about this. I would not be surprised if somebody on the Bears staff or front office has the same agent as Mike McCarthy. And this is orchestrated from within that circle in order to gauge his value with the Cowboys. So he's like, hey, ask for an interview, see what happens. If you ask for an interview, then they say, we're keeping him. It makes him see how secure his job is. That's my guess. That's my theory.
That's a pretty good theory. I like that. So what happened? They requested the interview. Jerry Jones said something retarded when asked about it, of course. And then the Cowboys denied the Bears' request to interview Mike McCarthy. I believe his contract expires
like yesterday, right?
With either today or yesterday or something. So I don't know. We'll see. It's
January 14th is that's their period that they have, like a renegotiation period or whatever, and then he's free to talk to whoever.
Yeah. The Giants were another team that we were waiting to hear from, and it appears that both Daboll and GM Joe Shane will keep their jobs. I think the Daboll part makes sense.
Yeah, agreed.
But as far as Joe Shane is concerned,
watching Saquon get all them yards.
I mean, yeah, letting Saquon go, and the fact that his own, I don't know if you watched the off-season Hard Knocks.
It, but you told me about some stuff.
There's a scene in the Hard Knocks where his teenage son basically made all the right picks.
Yeah.
He was like, you should take Jaden Daniels. And then he told him, take Malik Neighbors if Jaden Daniels isn't available. I mean, and then I forget what the third one was, but he said a third one, and it was just like, he was I was like, this kid's way better at his job.
That's why they're keeping the dad on. Can you bring your kid back?
Yeah. I mean, this one obviously is very interesting. I mean, they are picking very high in the draft. They're clearly going to take a quarterback.
You don't think they're going to have Kirk Cousins?
I heard a great theory yesterday. I can't remember what podcast I was listening to, but the guy who was talking is a Giants fan. And he said, I think the Giants are actually too preoccupied with not being the Jets.
And it's like, we are them.
He's like, they don't realize that they actually are the Jets.
Yeah,
they don't want to do Jets things, you know what I mean? And he's like, I think that's why this guy didn't get fired, because they don't want to seem like a sloppy organization like the Jets.
Yeah, I guess it is a everything's fine move, but we all know everything's not fine.
Yeah. So, as far as head coaches are concerned, that leaves us with Jags, Bears, Saints, Patriots, Raiders, Jets. Did I say Jets? No, I didn't. Vrabel and Lions OC Ben Johnson are still the bells of the balls.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of other names being thrown around. None funnier than Rex Ryan claiming that he is the front runner for the next head coaching job of the Jets.
He took them to their last glory.
I mean,
he took Mark Sanchez and a top defense to the fucking AFC Championship. Beat the Patriots at their peak.
True.
Gave us the sound that we have.
Can't wait.
That's from a Jets victory over the Patriots, man. That was Rex Ryan. I always liked him. He coached the Bills too, right? Or was he just defensive coordinator? I forget. But yeah, he was he the best the Jets have seen, so I would get it. Don't do it.
It's very funny. I mean, the Jets. I mean, I don't know why he is literally doing the media round saying that he thinks he is definitely a lock for the next head coach of the Jets.
Wow.
Like he's saying that.
Has a coach come back and been successful to a team? I know Bill Parcells left
to the same team.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Bill Parcells did it, right? Didn't he coach and then
Maybe.
come back? I forget.
I mean, meanwhile, the list of people that the Jets are interviewing is extensive.
The balls of the ball.
Okay, here's the list of the people the Jets are interviewing: Mike Vrabel, Ron Rivera, Brian Flores, Aaron Glenn, Josh McCown, Joe Brady, Matt Nagy, Arthur Smith, Brian Greasy, Vance Joseph, Bobby Slowick, Rex Ryan, and Vince Lombardi. Now, having only recently learned that Vince Lombardi is no longer available due to the fact that he's been dead for multiple decades, unfortunately they had to scratch him off the list. They were just like, okay, fine.
It's not Mike Lombardi?
No, I just think it's like funny. Like they really are just interviewing everyone. Everyone.
Like actual Vince Lombardi. We went to his gravesite. We met him for the interview. Mm-hmm. So they got 12 coaches on the list. 12. And then to still mess it up. They'll be so Jets.
Totally. You alluded to this, but probably one of the bigger developments was that the Bengals fired basically everyone except Zach Taylor.
Man, is this 49ers over here? Are they 49ers East?
DC Lou Anarumo. They also fired their linebackers coach, their D-line coach, and their O-line coach, all gone. Obviously, you fire that many people around the head coach, and we have no choice but to put. We have no choice but to put Zach Taylor on the hottest seat next year.
Hotter than
for
Mike
sure.
McCarthy. Yeah.
Browns fired offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey, as well as their offensive line coach.
The temper tantrum guy?
Mm-hmm. Titans fired their GM, Rand Carthon, after 2 years.
They fired the GM.
Their GM.
Will Levis. Look what you did.
This is the guy who took over for the guy who got fired for trading A.J. Brown. Remember him?
But maybe that was a bad move.
Like the day after they get cooked for like 200 yards by A.J. Brown.
Like later. Maybe Tannehill was the problem.
Let's see. What else we got? Colts fired defensive coordinator Gus Bradley.
Damn, he's been around.
Seahawks fired first-year OC Ryan Grubb.
I was surprised by that.
Well, the reports are, this guy was the offensive coordinator for the college team, the Washington Huskies last year.
Okay.
Primarily air raid offense. The passing game in Seattle did fine. But the Seahawks, once again, ran into a situation where they just could not run the football. And so they just decided to cut bait and try something else.
They're going to turn into a physical-ass team with a good defense. They're going to be Raiders Northwest. Ravens Northwest.
Last but not least, Kyle Shanahan figured out who to blame for their failures this season.
Okay.
And he has fired special teams coordinator Brian Schneider.
Come on.
Also, the 49ers defensive coordinator Nick Sorensen has not been fired, but he will not return as the defensive coordinator, is how they put it.
So he stepped down. Or is he's been demoted?
He has been removed.
Is he going to be on the staff?
Reports suggest that the 49ers are hoping that he stays with the team in some other role, is what they said.
God damn.
Now, as a big fan and a student of the English language, first and foremost, I will say that is some grade A top shelf designer bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
If you will allow me to translate, this just means that that Sorensen and Shanahan are too tight for Shanahan to throw him completely under the bus, but he knows that he has to find something else.
He knows that firing Steve Wilkes might have been a bad idea.
I think it was a terrible idea.
And now you put somebody in there, and it's like you can't fire. You can't be. He's so concerned with his image that he doesn't want to be the coach that fired 2 DCs in a row, 2 years in a row. He's turning into the oldest son, the eldest. He's turning into the eldest from Succession. Roy.
In another press release that requires some real talk translation, the Bears interim head coach Thomas Brown will interview for the full-time position at an unknown time.
We'll see if we can.
To be fair, it is difficult to know this unknown time when that time is actually never.
There's known times.
And
there's unknown times.
And then there's unknown.
There's known times.
Known, unknown.
But you got the unknown times. But the unknown times?
Yeah, exactly. It's hard. It basically just means never. He's never going to interview for that position. Okay, NFL teams are reaching out to Bill Belichick.
Like, come on,
just a month into his North Carolina tenure. This is so fucking dumb and shows a complete lack of imagination. Nobody wanted him last year, and now people want him to break his contract and take an NFL job. His opening presser, they asked Belichick at North Carolina about bailing for the NFL, and he was very clear. He said, quote, "I didn't come here to leave." And now you got all these teams going, no, wait. We didn't want you last year, but we want you now.
Yeah. It could be teams that wanted to see. Like, it must be these teams who weren't looking for a coach. There's no team that fired a first-year coach, right?
No.
So
Mayo.
Oh, yeah, Mayo, yeah.
That would be funny if the Patriots said, "Oh, please come back, Bill."
Oh, man. We got a quarterback now. He's like, I came back. As long as you don't have, then in that case, I'll be back because y'all I gave me Mac Jones. He's like, don't forget, I gave you Mac Jones. You don't want me. Did they say what teams they are that are talking to him, that are asking him?
They only mentioned the Raiders.
Oh shit, Tom Brady.
Apparently Tom Brady is very involved in the coaching search.
He's like, there's nobody better. Because I was thinking Vrabel might go over there, or Flores. I was thinking it might be somebody from there, but Brady probably knows that tree ain't shit. Oh no, yeah. Vrabel's not from his coaching tree. My bad. He just owned it as a player that played for him.
He's more like the fruit.
I like that.
He's not the branch. He's the fruit.
Right. The apple didn't fall far from the tree, but the branch.
And the fruit is what you want. I don't want no fucking branch. What am I gonna do with a branch? I want some fruit. Fruit's good as hell.
Let me hire Wes Welker.
You give me some fruit. I make fruit salad. Shit.
Exactly.
What am I gonna do with this branch? Nothing.
Scratch my ass. Give it to my grandma. Get spanking.
Let's see. Okay, we have a very interesting non-coaching related bit of news.
Is this known news or unknown?
This is known, and this is pretty weird and juicy and interesting. Cleveland Browns GM Andrew Berry has announced that quarterback and serial predator Deshaun Watson has had some type of mysterious setback in his Achilles recovery. He also states that his ability to suit up and play in 2025 is officially unknown.
Nigga, please.
They think we dumb, man.
Now, without getting too in the weeds about this, NFL teams generally have insurance policies for the contracts they offer to players in the event that players suffer a significant injury. What it means is that Deshaun Watson will still get paid, but the Browns receive a massive cap relief if he is unable to suit up and play for the 2025 season. Is this setback real? Is it not? I have no idea.
We just saw 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers come out and come back early from an Achilles.
Right.
And now you're telling me that this guy can't come back.
Whether or not this is real or fake, I have no idea. But I do know that Watson being injured is way more of a benefit to the Browns than having to carry on this charade that he is still a franchise quarterback. The timing of the announcement, as everyone is focused on coaches getting fired, and well in advance of the draft, is certainly notable.
So they could draft a quarterback.
And again, translation, I predict that it's very unlikely that Deshaun Watson ever plays for the Cleveland Browns again.
Yeah, man. My translation is...
Can you lend a nigga a pencil?
This is so stupid, man. I think they should deny this. The NFL should be like, no, you don't get cap relief. You can't go out and bullshit like that, or let an assessment happen from a neutral doctor.
Oh, they will never let that happen.
It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
They'd be like, well, he's very very relaxed in his muscles. That's for sure. It's like he's had too many massages. I don't know, man. I think that's such bullshit, and they're gonna get away with it as they always do, because they. Where's the money gonna come from? I guess NFL got all the money in the world anyway. I don't like it at all. I don't like it.
I don't either. Look, as far as the coaching news is concerned, it's going to take a little time before we know who is going to fill all of these vacancies. You still have good candidates that are on playoff teams that you're not really going to get a straight answer until the playoffs are over, whether or not someone like Ben Johnson is going to take a head coaching job. I would expect Mike Vrabel to get hired ASAP, though.
Yeah. There's some teams looking at Vance Joseph too, right? The defensive coordinator from Denver. That's another one that's out there. Who else is in? You said Brian Flores already. Who else is in there? That's still in the playoffs? That's kind of it, huh? Because Baltimore, they got a new coordinator.
I've heard a lot of reports about Bobby Slowick, the offensive coordinator for the Texans.
Oh yeah, that would not be good for them.
Who else?
That's kind of it, right? Because everybody's done with the McVay, knowing him. Knowing McVay, that kind of fell off. Shit, all of the McVay tree is in the playoffs.
Arthur Smith, I mentioned him before. Arthur Smith is getting some
Bears, right? Aren't the Bears looking? They got a long list too. You talked about the Jets. The Bears got a long list.
Bears have a long list as well. The Bills' offensive coordinator is on the list too.
Anthony Weaver from the Dolphins. He's somebody that could get hired right away since he's not in the playoffs, or could interview at least. But I really hope he doesn't go anywhere. That's a good defense. I was hoping they wouldn't catch on to how good he is yet, but it seems like people know. God damn it.
As far as the playoffs are concerned, a little bit of news. Packers Christian Watson done for the year. Knee injury.
Damn. And they had nothing to play for.
Right.
They had nothing to play for. Didn't the Chargers do this? Like the Packers weren't gonna. Remember when they got who was it? Mike Williams. When they were playing the starters and all that shit. When we were like Staley's an idiot. And
then that's the year they blew that lead. That big lead.
I'm saying, man, imagine if they would have had Mike Williams. And then what's his name hurt his elbow in the game. Jordan Love, he shouldn't have been playing.
Well, that's the good news. Jordan Love appears good to go.
Good, man. He just had a funny bone.
Ravens wide receiver Zay Flowers left the game in Week 18 with a knee injury. Good news is that it appears to be just a knee sprain. Bad news, he is not expected to play this weekend.
Zay Flowers not playing.
If the Ravens beat the Steelers, it looks like he'll probably play in the divisional round. As of what I read yesterday, he is considered not expected to play this week.
Man, that game gonna be good. Lamar gonna have to put his cape on, man. It's gonna be good.
And then my last piece of little playoff news is that I am now officially switching my my pick to the Chargers as the likely winners of the Super Bowl after having signed backup running back Ezekiel Elliott.
I saw that.
It's a lock.
Ezekiel Elliott. It's over, man. Once they got him.
Go ahead and put that bet in. That's I don't know what their chances are.
Call me champ.
Put that bet in.
Never say never, but never.
Yeah, I don't think Ezekiel Elliott will have much to do with their success.
No. But we could talk about these games a little bit. I mean, that is the first game, the Chargers and the Texans. I mean, the first interesting note is that the division-winning Texans are underdogs at home. Which is kind of...
Oh, they're underdogs.
3-point dogs at home to the Chargers.
Rams are going to be dogs, too.
Which is kind of fascinating. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of buy it, to be honest with you.
I think the Chargers are about to get... It's going to be a physical game, though. That's two physical teams. But Joe Mixon, didn't he come up a little lame? Like, didn't he hurt himself a little bit last game?
Maybe, yeah.
If he's down...
You know, Joe Mixon he had a great first half of the season and maybe not such a great second half. They've had trouble running the ball.
I think the Texans might win this, though.
You think so?
Yeah, when I look at it, I don't know, man. I think the Texans might have more firepower. They do have more firepower than the Chargers.
Maybe, but these Chargers are kind of top of the league as far as the defense forcing turnovers. If the Chargers can win the turnover battle, I don't see how the Texans win this football game.
Damn, I didn't know Justin Herbert had only threw 3 interceptions this season. God,
exactly.
Oh, Harbaugh's like, hey, just relax. He's outperforming Stroud. Stroud kind of had a bad year though. I wouldn't. This one is. I feel like this is a toss-up game because Houston actually has home field advantage. Unlike LA, they don't have a home field advantage, so they probably don't care where they play, which would probably help them.
Well, shit, they're probably glad to not be scheduled to play in Los Angeles right now. Anyway, the whole fucking city is on fire, bro. It's like
it's crazy to see, man. You got people out there, right?
I got lots of people out there.
Man, that's horrible. Especially in this day and age where we live, which is part of the whole thing with the genocide going on. You know, the multiple genocides in the world going on, but the one that we all know about, or might be calling it different things, whatever. But the atrocities happening in Gaza, like nowadays, you're seeing this stuff on film, like these fires. You're seeing such real footage of the horrors, man. I got like mad at the helicopter flying over the fire, the news helicopter. I was just like. I don't know. I know they're supposed to report the news, but it just feels salacious sometimes.
Fucking dump. While you're up there, dump some water.
Yeah. Did you see that one clip of the guy was on the news talking about how people should leave your keys in your car so we can move it if we need to? People are leaving their keys and walking off like it's a parking lot. And the guy was like, "Thanks for telling us that. Everybody take note of it." The news guy. He's like, "What's your name?" And he said, "Steve Gutenberg." It was a fucking dude from Police Academy who was on the news.
Are you serious?
Telling people to leave keys in their cars. Yeah.
Wow.
Couldn't really tell it's him. He had a hat on. He got a jacket. He's out there moving around. He's all frantic. And then the guy is like, "Oh, it's you." You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Wow. Let's see. On to Steelers and Ravens. I know the Steelers are limping into the playoffs after losing 4 straight, but they're 9.5 point underdogs in this game.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get run out of the stadium.
Maybe it seems like Vegas thinks that too.
Yeah, they're gonna get blown out.
Interestingly, you know, we always give Mike Tomlin a lot of credit, but this dude has not won a playoff game since 2016.
They never. Or maybe he doesn't lose enough to get good draft picks, but they never give him. They don't do shit to get him stars either. I was talking to my friend who's a Steelers fan. I was talking to him about it. Like, they never get assets for this guy, and then when they do get good, they trade away. The best they had was Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell at the same time with Roethlisberger. That's when and then they had like a top offense.
Yeah.
So maybe they could start trying to make moves like that to get him some pieces. You never hear about the Steelers in free agency went nuts. You never hear that shit. Imagine if they did with a top coach.
I feel like in a way my take at the beginning of the season, this idea of pretending like you have 2 quarterbacks means you actually don't really have any quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I feel like in the end, that turned out to be true.
Yeah, he's not gonna win. He's not gonna win games for you.
Not in the playoffs.
No. Rainbow Russ. I mean, he's playing his heart out, but it's not enough. Last game we saw it. We saw him trying. It was just like.
And I have a feeling that if the Steelers get desperate in this game, don't be surprised if you see Justin Fields pop onto the field at some point.
Yeah, that's one thing about Tomlin. He don't give a fuck about your ego. It's time to come out. It's time to come out. So they're gonna. These teams know each other well, but that might come up to where they've played twice already this year, and the Ravens, they've seen all your punches, man. They're about to get little brother.
As far as the Broncos and the Bills are concerned, the most interesting thing that I've taken away from the things that I've read about this game is that Josh Allen very rarely gets sacked this year. One of the lowest sack rates in the league. But the Broncos lead the NFL in sacks.
Something's got to give.
Exactly.
Expect some exotic blitzes.
I obviously expect the Bills to win this game, but am I surprised if this turns into a trap game? Not really.
Yeah, because they've ordained the Bills as the only team that can stand up to the Chiefs. But the Broncos fucking stood up to the Chiefs in season and a blocked field goal away from beating the Chiefs, being the only, besides the Bills. They came the closest to the Bills to beating the Chiefs. Bills beat the Chiefs. Broncos were a close field goal away.
That's true. That's a good point.
So these teams might be Spider-Man in it. Spider-Man meme in it, looking at each other. I didn't know Bo Nix had more yards than Josh Allen this year. More passing yards. That's crazy. More touchdowns than Josh Allen. I did not know that. Bo Nix was out here balling.
Crazy. Packers and Eagles. Packers are good, but
nah.
I said it already. They're a tier below the top contenders.
They proved it in the last game of the season. So.
Both Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts have been limited in practice so far this week. But as I said, it looks like Love is good to go. Hurts, he's already missed a game because of a concussion. I expect him to play.
He should retire.
He should. These Alabama quarterbacks, they just don't have the brain for the game.
Should have played tennis. Saquon playing though.
Yeah, of course. I expect Jalen Hurts to play, but I'd say just keep an eye on it.
I think even with Pickett, they'll beat the Packers.
Both teams have pretty good defense, but of course the Eagles have all those dogs.
Packers
have a couple of dogs too. Packers have like 3 dogs, but the Eagles have 5 dogs, and 5 dogs is better than 3 dogs.
Yeah, it's simple math. But I think they also have Saquon Barkley. They also have AJ Brown.
That's true.
And the Packers are missing one of their Spider-Man receivers. Because as you said, they're the Spider-Man meme for real. Their receiver core, all exactly the same guy, and one of them is down, Christian Watson. So I feel like this is gonna be one of those. The Eagles' defense is peaking right now too.
That's true.
And Jordan Love loves to be. He's a Packers quarterback, man. He's a gunslinger. So I would bet a pick on him if I were a betting man.
Totally. Another player you could bet a pick on would be Baker Mayfield. I know you're not going to agree with me on this, but I think the Bucs are a little vulnerable. I actually think the Commanders are the most likely wild card team to pull off the upset in round 1. Baker,
that's a good point.
Baker throws. He's been great this year, but he has thrown a lot of interceptions.
Yeah. 16. He threw 41 touchdowns. God damn, Baker Mayfield. 4,500 yards.
Yes.
Shit.
Yeah.
Shit. I didn't know Bucky Irvin had 1,100 yards either.
Yeah, Bucky's been great.
Jeez. What's going on there? And nobody talking about this offensive coordinator?
Yeah, people are talking about him.
Liam Cohen. Yeah, I've heard about
Liam
him.
Cohen, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about
people talk about him.
Damn.
Could be. I think this is going to be this could be one of the most entertaining games.
Yeah,
because these two quarterbacks,
they're about to score.
These two quarterbacks have the same kind of DNA. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they're just going to grip it and rip it.
Yeah,
this could be the highest scoring game of the wild card round, I think.
Damn, Jaden James is the leading passer and rusher on this team.
That's crazy. Wow, last but not least, you got Vikings Rams.
See, I was thinking this is the closest upset. To me, this is the game that could be an upset.
What? In that you think the Rams could beat the...
Yeah, Rams could beat the Vikings.
They did. I mean, the Rams beat the Vikings week 2 of the season, 30-20.
That's before they got full-on Rams.
Most people probably forgot, but I assure you the Vikings did not. I don't see the Rams beating the Vikings.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Schif, for hitting for the asterisk.
I mean, I don't like betting it. I don't like betting against, my dogs.
Yeah, that's true.
But honestly, you got a 14-win team coming in as a wild card. I mean, and they just got embarrassed last week by the Lions. I mean, this team is going to be ready.
Or maybe, as Dennis Green said,
but they are who we thought they were.
We'll see. We'll see if Sam Darnold is Sam seeing ghosts.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying maybe that team overperformed this year.
Did you hear they dropped? Did you hear that the NFL decided to drop the word "super" from Wild Card Weekend?
They heard us, bro.
They're no longer calling it Super Wild Card Weekend.
I thought I saw something about that. Okay, I thought I saw it somewhere. Super Wild Card Weekend. Okay.
They're not going to call it that anymore.
Do we still have our? Are we still going to give these crazy names to the games then because of that?
Well, I guess we don't have to. I mean, that was the whole reason.
Yeah, because after the wild card was deliciously delightful divisional round. And then there was the incredibly iconic extra crispy conference championship game. And then the splendidly sexy, salaciously slippery Super Bowl extravaganza.
Exactly. Which the only reason I came up with that was because I just thought it was so stupid. It's like, why you have the Super Bowl? Like, why are you trying to use the same terminology for wild card weekend? This is stupid.
Yeah.
Who told you to do that?
Bad idea.
Apparently, they came up with it when they expanded the playoffs. In 2019 or 2020, I can't remember.
Yeah, something like that.
And now they've been asked about it. They said, well, we did that to draw attention to the new playoff format. And now that people are used to it, we don't feel like it's necessary to use the word super anymore.
Thanks for weaning us. Thanks for grooming us, NFL.
It's so stupid.
We're being groomed right now to football every day. We're getting groomed slowly. They added a game. Like, there's just less and less care about the players' health and safety. Adding a game and this Guardian cap stuff too. So no, we care. We give them a Guardian cap.
The Kansas City Chiefs won a football game on every day of the week this year except Tuesday, and that's because they never played on a Tuesday.
When the pandemic came, they were like, yes. NFL was so happy that the pandemic came and they can just move and test stuff out. Smart, man. Other companies should have done that, man.
That was crazy. That was when we first started the podcast, remember?
Yeah, man.
And it was like, we would have to give these updates. Oh, there's going to be a game on Wednesday. It's like, wait, what's happening?
Hey, the Broncos are starting a special teams player, fourth string wide receiver as their quarterback this week.
That was
absurd. Should go okay. Yeah, and they got fucking blown out.
That was so funny.
Because of one guy who would probably
they spent all week trying to tell us that this guy was lights out quarterback in high school and maybe he's good. He's like, nah.
You know what? I found, YouTube, they just know me. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I go. So I went on the YouTube to put our episode up. Those of you that watch video, you watch it on YouTube. I went in and they have these suggestions that get me every time. There's always something that makes me click and I'm late putting the video up because they get me. And they had something that they knew I was going to love. Former backup quarterback for the Green Bay Packers has a YouTube channel where he takes one of the videos, he takes his actual playbook from when he was a quarterback for the Packers, and he calls those plays on Madden.
Mm-hmm.
He uses he uses the strategy that they had, because on the play sheet, I didn't even know their play sheet has like situations on it. So he's like, oh, it's 2nd and 2. So he goes on to 2nd and 2 things and calls a play similar to that play. And he's just carving people up on Madden. It's fantastic to watch. It's like that. I've said that to say that there's another level of this shit that some high school quarterback is never going to reach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, never. We didn't flip, man. We got to flip.
Let's do it.
You're picking, and then we'll see what we end up with. You're calling the flip. We'll see what happens.
I'm calling the flip. Okay. I'm gonna call heads.
All right.
And it is heads.
Ah, damn it.
And it is heads.
You want to go first?
Do I want to go first? No, I don't want to go first.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to go first.
Damn it. I didn't either. All right. So first game is Chargers-Texans. God damn it. Those of you that are keeping up, Skip lost the regular season but can still win because there's more points assigned to each game. That's why I'm mad that I'm going to probably lose this first one. But we
got 5 points in this round per game.
Yeah. I'm going to pick the Texans to beat the Chargers.
You know I'm putting an asterisk on that.
No! Not the asterisk.
Oh, yeah. Next up, Steelers, Ravens. Easy. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry.
All right.
Too much.
You have your pen ready for an asterisk?
Sure.
Save
Always.
Save it for later. Just keep it pen ready. I think the Bills would be too much for the Broncos, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos pull it off. But the Bills still have the solid gold Allen. Josh solid gold Allen. So
Packers, Eagles. I've already said
God
5
damn.
dogs is more than 3. So I'm going Eagles.
You fucked me this time, man. I got all the hard games, man. Washington and the Bucks. Shit. I gotta go with the Bucks, man. They got the best player in football on their team. You can't bet against Baker. They're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Asterisk.
You think? Well, oh yeah, you said that already.
Said that already.
Yeah.
Last but not least, we got the Minnesota Vikings going up against the Los Angeles Rams. 14-3 versus 10-7. I think this is going to be a beatdown. Actually, this game is supposed to take place in Los Angeles. I wonder if it's going to happen.
But they're in Inglewood. Stadium's in Inglewood.
Sure. I mean, they postponed an LA Kings game yesterday. That stadium is downtown, so closer to the fire. But I mean, the real problem is that, the fire is affecting everyone who lives in the Los Angeles area. So, presumably you have either players or staff members who I mean, they're are affected in some way by this.
Yeah. One of the biggest.
I actually haven't read anything.
One of the biggest here in Sweden. One of the biggest podcasters is the biggest podcast is called Alex Osiga, and Siga lives there in LA and comes here regularly. I saw him. He came to my club actually to watch a show, so I got to meet him. That was cool. But his house burned down. He said he lost everything. He just got dog and laptop. That's all he was able to save.
Shit.
It's crazy, man. So I guess SveNFL thoughts out to our fellow Swede, Sigge Eklund, who had to going through it.
Says here, as of 16 hours ago, Vikings-Rams game still planned for SoFi Stadium on Monday.
Okay. I hope they get it. I hope they get this shit under control, man. And this all I'm always curious about this. This starts just because somebody made a mistake somewhere, right? Some type of campfire didn't go out or stuff like that, right? Isn't it always man-made, all of these things?
Yeah, I think so. Well, unless you ask Marjorie Taylor Greene, the congresswoman from Georgia, she has claimed that California wildfires are caused by Jewish space lasers.
She did not fucking say that. When?
A couple of years ago. She said that out loud into a microphone.
Did you see that? Did you see when she tried out for American Idol?
What?
Her audition is out there.
Oh my God!
It's
no,
on YouTube.
I have not
she
seen
auditioned,
that.
or maybe I saw it on Instagram. I could send it to you. She auditioned for American Idol and under a fake name, Stephanie or some shit like that, and was horrible. And it was back when it was Simon and Paula Abdul, and then she was like basically like, "Fuck y'all, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know music," type of thing. She had an attitude.
Of course she did.
So it's like obvious that she's always just wanted the spotlight.
Wow.
Yeah.
It says here that the game is still scheduled to take place at SoFi, but the contingency plan, if needed, will be to move the game to the Arizona Cardinals stadium.
Okay. There's fires there too in Pennsylvania. I mean in Arizona.
Oh, really?
I saw. I was looking at a map today of the fires, and there was one X in Arizona. So there's a fire going there too.
This is crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, it's sad. All right, so we got Vikings. Our picks.
Oh, yeah, I'm taking the Vikings.
So you're saying Vikings, Bucks, Eagles, Bills, Ravens, Texans. That's what we're saying, right? Our six picks. I'm putting in the flip 'em pick 'em parlay is going in now. And we'll see what happens. And we'll those that do like to hear some gambling saga, you can follow our betting journey on patreon.com/SveNFL, man.
Yes, Lord.
Yes, Lord. We got some input too from people about fantasy football, and we're gonna upgrade our fantasy football for next season. So people that are interested can either join us on Patreon or email us at SveNFLpod@gmail.com and for details and stuff. Because next season we're upgrading it a bit, and hopefully we get enough interest to do a third league. Because we have the relegation league where you get dropped the fuck out of the main league, but according to our commissioner,
you can call me champ.
he says that our players are pretty good. So the top two leagues it's pretty good people that are getting dropped out. So some high level fantasy going on here. That's how we do in Sweden. When Swedes do something, they get fucking good. that's the truth. Listen to the music, the movies, all that shit.
What are we gonna call our third league if we have one?
That's something maybe we can vote on. We have a community chat. I started a fantasy football trash talk chat on Patreon. So in the future, we're going to be talking shit in there too every game night. Get your Patreon app open and get ready to talk your shit.
Yeah, I won't be doing that.
You're not going to talk shit?
Well, I like to talk shit. I just don't like to be distracted from watching the game while I'm talking shit.
Well, it'll be there for those that want to talk shit.
I actually don't like to look at my fantasy team as the game's happening.
Yeah.
I don't like to look at it. I think I usually look at it at halftime. And then I look at it when the early window is done. I look at it there. Sense. And then I try not to. The first year I had it, I was looking at it like every 10 minutes and I was like, I hate this. So I just stopped doing that.
Well, I just don't look at it till the season's over. And then I'm like, oh, we came here because Jason does all the work for me. I do know. Sometimes I look at it and see what I'm like, oh, we don't have a tight end? What? You know, stuff like that. I'll see it last minute and make a change. But I'm not as in it as y'all are. But I'll be talking shit. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's it for this. I guess we will sign off here, man. We really appreciate y'all. There's the horn. That means you either heard something fantastic or you're about to hear something spectacular. The former is true in this case. Thanks for checking out this episode of SveNFL. Good luck to your teams unless they're the Bills, because I fucking hate the Bills. Fuck the Bills. And
I don't know.
You got the Bucks.
I don't know who I hate. Yeah, fuck the Bucks.
All right. It's been Jonathan Rollins.
Skip Mizara.
With SveNFL. Peace.
Later, y'all.